tampon Tim Walz, Coach Sandusky, has got a new job. Pull it up real quick. He finally landed his dream job, which is a coach at Penn State University, specifically for the youth football camps. That's AI. I know you're looking at it there. But no, so tampon Tim Walz has been going on a press tour. Mind you, he's still governor of Minnesota. I guess he decided what the country wanted was more of him. He's been doing a speaking tour all around the country. He came to Omaha not too long ago, and they put it in a much smaller venue than they did last time because they knew they weren't going to be able to sell it out because there was absolutely no interest in seeing your creepy uncle speak. So they put it in a event center that held like 150 people, so it looked like it was overflowing. Because it turns out, it's girl math. It's girl math. When you can't fill a venue that sits 3,000, you get one that sits 200. And then when 250 people show up, you go, look at these lines out the door for tampon Tim Walz here. Well, Tim Walz has had some great comments here. Play this first one from him on concept of freedom. It's rich coming from him.
If you say you love freedom and you want to restrict that and restrict certain groups, what you don't love freedom, what you love is privilege, and that's a different thing.
Much of the rally focused on opposing the policies of...
Didn't you get tired, Mia, watching that little fruitcake frolic around on the stage like that? I mean, I really missed it from the election. That's the thing. Besides Kamala's whine ant voice, that's the thing I missed the most, was him prancing around the stage while saying other people are dancing around like dumbasses. Freedom. I find that incredibly ironic that the guy who set up a tip line, an anonymous tip line, so you could report your neighbors during COVID if they had more than the allotted amount of people in their home at one time, has anything to say about freedom. I find it incredibly ironic that the guy who during COVID, when they had curfews installed in Minneapolis, set riot cops down the streets shooting paintball guns at people so that they would go back inside their houses, has anything to say about freedom. I mean, this guy's a commie, for God's sakes, and he's creepy as all hell. Here's another comment he had to make at another one of his speaking engagements here.
Saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping. So, and if you own one, we're not blaming you. You can take dental floss and pull the Tesla thing off, and take out, just telling you.
Yeah, so there he is. That was back when the Tesla vandalism was going on. He was bragging to his audience, quote unquote, or lack thereof, about Tesla stock tanking. And, well, as it turns out, Minnesota, the state he's the governor of, their public employees' retirement fund has significant investments in Tesla. So when he goes up there and he brags about playing a role in tanking Tesla's stock, he's going up there and bragging about tanking his employees' retirement funds. So hold on, guys. How important are retirement funds? They're either the end of the world when they go down, or it's okay to tank my own employees' retirement funds with my own rhetoric, as long as I don't like the guy who owns one of the companies in the fund. What are we doing? How about this, Tim? How about this? You're still governor of Minnesota. So how about instead of this speaking tour, you go back and, I don't know, run the state that they're actually paying you to run? You're still governor through 2026, and I heard you filed for a third term. I heard you're running for re-election up there, Tampon Tim. I heard you're not going to stop until every men's restroom in the state has got its own tampon dispenser up there. So it could be a while, because those rural areas of Minnesota, I've been there. They're going to fight you on that one the whole way, But why don't you, instead of standing in a high school gymnasium in Olathe, Kansas, why don't you go back up to the state that you've been elected now twice to run, by the way, with continuing a declining margin of victory in approval ratings. Why don't you go back up to that state and actually run it, where they're paying you six figures to be the guy that's in charge of it on the taxpayer dime? How about that? Do you know how pissed I would be if, I don't know, let's just say that, like, I'll take it a little bit more micro, less extreme example. Like, Mia, imagine, like, if the mayor of Omaha spent all of her time in another city. Do you know how upset I would be? Like, let's say Stothert, just for argument's sake, of course this would never happen. Let's say Stothert spent like 2/3 of her time in St. Louis. Do you know how upset I would? Thank God we don't have to worry about that here, right? Do you know how upset I would be if we're paying you to run this state or run this city or whatever the case may be, and you can't even bother to be here? Thank God we don't have to worry about that here, right, Mia? Thank God we don't have to worry about our elected officials in Omaha going to other cities. That's we can all breathe a sigh of relief here.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you can actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.